Hello everyone. Welcome to World Card Making Day 2024. My name is Monica Formosa from Paper Happinesity with Monica. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the Wide Bay area of Queensland, Australia. I'll get it out in a minute. Okay, World Card Making Day 2024. I hope you've had a lot of fun. I'm not sure at this point where I am in the lineup. I think I'm going last. So if I'm last, I'd like to say thank you very much for joining us today. I hope you've enjoyed all our presentations, and please come back and join us again tomorrow. All our videos will be listed and available here, or either here or on YouTube or something, and you can come back and watch them anytime at all. So don't stress out too much if you can't make it to everyone's presentations. But yes, if you're here, thank you so much for joining me. Okay, so today I thought I would do something a little bit different. This project was inspired by Ruth Trice, set up for Stamping with Ruth. This technique is her baby. Like, I don't know too many others that do this as well as what she does. I have seen other demonstrators do it, but Ruth's a wizard at this technique. So I'm going to be doing a stamped one, what we all call on Ruth's channel as a stamped one sheet wonder, and that's where we stamp a piece of cardstock and then we can go in and trim it up to create different sized cards, or not different sized cards, different sized card fronts, depending on how you stamp it. So Card Making 2024, World Card Making Day 2024. Let's get on with it. So for my project, what I thought, I need a pencil. If you have a pencil and a ruler, you don't have to do this step. But what I like to do is, if you're not sure, or if you are sure rather, on how you're going to cut this up, like if you just want to do 4 cards, or you might want to do, however many, you can get up to 12 or 10 or 12 if you wanted to, depending on how you trim it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and find the center, and I'm going to use my grid paper because there's this lovely grid happening here that allows this. It has this cross here in the middle that allows us to find the middle. And I think it doesn't have to be perfect, but roughly here. And I'm going to actually draw 2 pencil marks, one horizontal and one vertical, or one really lightly. And I'm probably not going to see this after all my stamping has been done, but this is how I'm going to start off. All right, so I've got this cross. I'm not sure whether the camera will pick up that, but there's this lovely cross in the middle, and that will just guide me in my stamping. And like I said, you don't have to do that. As a beginner, I kind of suggest you do, but it's neither here nor there. It's all about having fun at the end of the day. 2 stamp set. I want to mainly focus on Regal Flora, because that's this is what is available in the Christmas catalogue at the moment, or the September to December 2024 mini catalogue, which is what it's really what its proper name is. And then I thought I would drag out Translucent Florals, and I want to use this larger leaf image here just as a little bit of a background, and chances are, once again, you're not going to actually see that when I'm finished, but it just puts a little bit of colour down, and again, that also guides me in my stamping. Okay, so that's all I need out of that one. I'm going to get these ones here. I'm going to use pretty much all of these. All right. Just set these up so we're ready to go. Probably could have done this beforehand. Actually I might, yeah, that one will fit on there. And I'll put the dots on the bigger one. And then I'm going to put the trio of flowers here on this larger one as well. All right, so that's all my stamps already. Oh no, and I need this little guy here. And it's probably like we can use this. We can use the sentiments in if we want for our card making tomorrow. Okay. All right. So I've got 6 colours out. 2 from the neutrals, 2 from the Regals, and then 2 from the Brights. Not quite a rainbow. Lots of greens because I can pick and choose at the moment, which is good. Sometimes when I do this kind of stamping, I don't have a choice of what colours, and it's for a colour challenge. But anyway, okay, so we've got Blackberry, Bliss, Cherry Cobbler, Berry Burst, Daffodil Delight, Old Olive, and Mossy Meadow. And I try to get a little bit of inspiration from, if I can find it, I've got it buried here on my desk. I tried to get inspiration of colours from the DSP. So it's got lots of reds, pinks, purples. I'm not actually using a purple, and the yellow here, and I've used that as my inspiration as to what colours I use. A little bit Christmassy, if you wanted to go down that path. But to start off with, I'm going to grab my Daffodil Delight, and I might just make some room here because I need a fair bit of elbow space. And we're going to go and then up, doing first and second generation. And this is just to add a little bit of colour in the background, just to maybe fill in those potential open spaces that we will inevitably get. Okay. All right, so that's my daffodil, and that's pretty much the only time I'll ever use that. We'll put that out the way. Okay, so what I like to do next is go in probably with Cherry Cobbler. It's not my darkest colour, but it's a pretty strong colour. And I'm going to get this single flower, and I'm going to do a cluster of 3 in like a diamond formation, pretty much over where that line is that I drew, and kind of a little bit way out. So we're going to go stamp, and we're going to stamp again nice and close. Get your stamp in nice and close. And then second generation, I've probably gone a little bit too close there to that intersection, but anyway, that's fine. We'll go up here a bit. We'll go 1, 2, and my third generation is down here. We're going to go out a little bit here. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2. Oops, that's a bit far away, but that's all right. we can fix that. That's not a problem. Okay, so that's my flower, the larger flower. And normally if there's a larger flower, well, I'm trying to use only one stamp set here, and what I've done is used the smaller flower to create a larger cluster. And when I'm stamping, I will try and do a cluster of at least 3. If you do 1 or 2, it kind of looks as though it's a very contrived kind of stamping. And we're not looking for balance here, guys. Don't think because you'll see as I go on, this really isn't balanced. Because in nature you don't see, unless it's a really formal garden, you're not going to see 2, 2, 2, 2 or 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1 flowers, okay? So, Blackberry Bliss. We're going to, now this is a very strong colour, and then we're going to go again, second generation. The further out you come, you kind of tend to do the second generation. I'm doing first generation up against this first generation stamping here, and then we're going to go again here, pulling it away, because the further away we get, the softer we go. And again here. And then I'm also going to fill, actually I might do some more in here. I kind of feel like there's quite a bit going on here that I can fill in. And we're going to go here and maybe here. All right, we're filling in those gaps there. And I might actually sneak one in here. And I might just stamp off and sneak one in here. Can I fit one in there? There we go. Right, don't stress too much about going over what you've already stamped. It's all part of the plan. So that's my Blackberry Bliss, and I have a feeling I will use that again later on. No. So next I want to do some leaves, and I'm going to go with Old Olive to begin with, and I'm going to use this image here. And once again, we're going to go first and second generation, okay? And we're starting to fill in all those little gaps that are happening here. And I'm trying, see how I've stamped that stem there? I really don't want that stem, because that way we can tuck. See how that's tucked? It's gone right in there, tucked right in. All right. Old Olive's a great one for even, you can get even third generation, maybe even fourth generation stamping. All right, we're adding our foliage, the beginnings of our foliage. I will add some up here. I'm actually going to turn it around and have a look at it from a different perspective. I kind of feel like I need some up here, up this end. Yep. And let me think. And up here. And also, like this isn't set in stone. Even after you've trimmed it up to your card fronts, you can go back in after you've cut it up and add more stamping if you so wish. If you think, oh, there's a bit of a spot here where I could add a little bit more color, just go in and stamp it, because you know, it might look a little bit unbalanced somewhere. Okay, so I have ink on my finger and I've got to put a splodge there. Never mind. Okay, so now I'm going to use Berry Burst, and I've got this little image here, the little bud, and we're going to go in and add this little pop of berry in here. And again, I'm going to go, I kind of know where bit of a zing. I'll go. And again, we're doing second and third generation. And what I'm doing here is I'm stamping. I'll show you. I don't know whether you can. I'm going to stamp, and then I'm pivoting from the base, stamping again, and then pivoting to the center and coming up. Okay. So again, oh, this is a bit tricky here. Over this spot here. All right, so stamp, pivot from the base, and then pivot to the center and go up. So we've got that cluster of 3 happening. Just take that stem off a bit. So 1, 2, 3. This is such a pretty color. I love this color. I don't know whether to go here. 1, 2, 3. And I kind of want to come in here and fill in these spaces in here, but I don't want that stem that's happening. Okay, we're just filling in that little bit of space that's going on in there. And I think I might just cover this up here, and I've got ink literally everywhere. Excuse me a moment. I've got ink all over the side of my stamp because I'm pressing down way too heavy. All right, so I'm going to just cover that stem that's going on in there, and maybe this one here too. Put a flower in there. Okay, I might just and there's a huge white gap in there, so let's all right. Okay, I'm going to turn it again. I'm not quite sure. I think I might add a bit of a flower. And at the moment, yeah, it does look like a bit of a hot mess. But it's where I want it to be at this point in time. Mossy Meadow, and I'm going to bring in another foliage image. And once again, I'm only inking up, well, I'm trying to only ink up everything but the stem, because we really don't want that stem that's happening. And we're going to again use first, second, third generation in our colours. It does start to get a little bit tricky at this point because it is now, everything is quite full. But it's all about stamping your flowers and then filling in all those spaces. Using your stamps. See, I've got this little stem happening here again. So I'm going to get my image and just this next image and just cover that up, you know, like stamp over the top. Maybe I can go in here with there'll be a few leaves, and I could probably go in later on and fill up if I, all right, that might do because I think it's probably didn't need that last bit. Ooh. Okay, now the last thing we like to do is add our dottage, as we say, as we call it when we're watching Ruth. Now I have to say I'm not comfortable using this one. I think it's too square, if you get my drift. So to help with that, I've decided to use it on the diagonal, and that way your eyes aren't drawn to the grid that you get when you're stamping. Well, I don't know whether it's how you're supposed to, because there's no such thing as, there's no right or wrong in our stamping. But anyway, so first and second generation stamping again, I'm going to use the darkest colour, which is our Blackberry Bliss. Normally it's the darkest colour you use, but depending on what's going on in your stamping, if your eyes are drawn to a particular colour more than anything else, that would be the colour that you use. Like, and if there's something that's not quite balanced in there, that would be the colour that you would use. Okay, so nice and gently, I'm going to go stamp and then turn and then go in again. And what we're doing is we're filling in now all the gaps that we've got happening. All right, so we're turning. I'm going turn. And I'm just pulling the Blackberry through the green actually. And make sure I have this sorry, I go quiet when I'm concentrating. Yeah, so I hope you've had a great day today. We've really enjoyed sharing our projects with you guys. And I think that might just about do. I don't want to go, because it is such a regimented stamp, I really don't want to go too berserk, but that's probably enough. I might just add a little bit in here. Yeah. Let me see. Yep, I think that's probably okay. That's all I'm going to do now. I will leave it at that. And that's pretty much all our stamping. I'm going to see if I can zoom in a little bit so you can actually see. This is going to be a little bit tricky. All right, so I'm sorry if that jumped, but here's our stamping. It does look a little bit crowded in the middle here, and I probably didn't need that leaf in there, but we'll see what happens when we chop it up tomorrow. Because what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use this to make 4 cards, because I thought this would be the easiest way to go. Now I've got sheets of vellum all cut up into templates to show me how I can trim these up. Now just imagine that those lines aren't there, like these cross lines here, and that's just vellum that I've drawn on with a Sharpie. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 card fronts, and then you can use either, I like to put a sentiment in those white spaces, but that's tomorrow's job, guys. All right, and of course I didn't zoom out again, did I? But you can see that that's probably a nice shot there. Okay, guys, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate everyone coming along and joining us today. We've done this, I don't know whether we did it last year, possibly, I can't remember. Maybe they did and I wasn't in it. But yes, we like to show off our talents a little bit, our creative talents, which is great. And like I said, go and check out Ruth Trice at Artful Stamping. Her skill at this technique is amazing, and I will plug her every single time I sit down and create a card or stamping this way. I follow her religiously, and I just love how much she inspires me to use my stamps in a totally different way than I ever imagined. It speaks to my artful heart, knowing that we can use our stamps like this. All right, guys, so that's it. Thank you. I'm starting to waffle now, so I'm going to say goodbye, and please join us again tomorrow. And I can't wait to see what everyone else has created for us. Great. Thank you. Bye for now.